Welcome to Summit. I am going to play a different piece than is written in the bulletin. I'm going to play an arioso of Johann Sebastian Bach because I played Lohauer Rose Blooming on Christmas Eve, and I thought, well, that's a little close to play the same piece. But I love that piece too. So anyway, I'm playing this Bach, which is really, Bach is always somebody who gives me hope.
Beautiful. Thank you, Karen. Good morning and welcome to the last Sunday of the year. I'm glad so many of you are here, and welcome to those at home in your cozy pajamas and slippers because we know it's a cold morning. I'm Aline King, a woman in her 70s with long brown hair, a red blouse, and a green jacket to keep cozy, and holiday socks, and I'm glad you're here with us today. We have a wonderful speaker that I could elaborate on for a long time. I've known her for years. She's an author of 12 books. The last one, Stop Seeking and Start Finding, is a real treasure. You'll want to go on her website, janphillips.com, and learn so much more about her. But we'll leave that till later. But thank you for being here, Jan, and joining us. So, the modern Unitarian Universalist believes that every individual has the right to explore spirituality and religion for themselves, free from the constraints of dogma or doctrine. We believe all beings are beloved and are worthy just because they are. We believe in a future where we are all treated equitably, but recognize the inequalities in this world and seek to work to tear down the structures that uphold them. At the center of it all, there is love. Love for our world, love for each other, and love for ourselves. And in that love, we acknowledge that we stand and live on the unceded territory of the Kumeyaay people who've lived here for 10,000 years and have nurtured and taken care of this land. They were hunters and gatherers, astronomers, marine biologists, chemists, and physicists. They read the stars and predicted seasonal changes and used natural materials to create rock art. We're blessed by their continued living on our land, and we recognize the violent colonization in California and honor the legacy that they continue to bring on. So for announcements today, we have one from Laurel.
Hi, I'm Laurel Bernstein, Chair of the Music Committee here, and I am thrilled to introduce our new music director, Jerica Stone. It's been 4 months since we've had a music director, and we have found the right one. So, members of the choir, would you raise your hand? Thank you. Please say hi to Jerica, and she starts officially this Friday.
Wonderful new tunes in the new year. So are there any other announcements? Sandy, would you come forth to light the chalice, please? In the words of our speaker, we light this chalice with these words: I am a chalice to wonder. It's quenched my desire. I no longer seek. I'm a hearth to its fire. Thank you, Sandy. So now please stand as you're able and willing to sing our UU hymn. The words will be on the screen. The spirit of this fellowship. May the quest for truth be its sacrament, and service be its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to help one another in fellowship. This is our aspiration. Please be seated. And now I'd like to introduce our speaker, Jan Phillips, who will read to us What I Have Learned So Far by Mary Oliver.
Meditation is old and honorable, so why should I not sit every morning of my life on the hillside, looking into the shining world? Because properly attended to, delight, as well as havoc, is suggestion. Can one be passionate about the just, the ideal, the sublime, and the holy, and yet commit no labor in its cause? I don't think so. All summations have a beginning, all effect has a story, all kindness begins with the sown seed. Thought buds toward radiance. The gospel of light is the crossroads of indolence or action. Be ignited or be gone. Mary Oliver. May she rest in peace.
Thank you, Jan. And now, if you would stand, if you are willing and able, to sing hymn number 346, Come Sing a Song with Me. Can you reach it? Please be seated. We come now to our time of joys and concerns, and these can be emailed to Stacy Suzaki or Reverend Casey, or written as you come in. And you can always light a candle for those concerns and joys in your heart. So at this time, I'd like to invite Joey up to read a wonderful song. Read a story, duh. It's in our hands. And if the children would like to come up and gather around on the steps here, the pictures will be on the screen of the book, so you can even see it better. Why don't you come up? Anybody who wants to, grown-ups too. Thanks to the AV people, we have the book on the screen for you all to see. You can come over closer if you want. Well, you can see the screen from here.
The title of the book is In Our Hands by Lucy Farfurt. We called it The Dulling. It had been creeping in for such a long time and had started so gradually that most people barely even noticed. Perhaps they didn't want to see. No one knew what to expect. No one knew what to do except carry on as normal, as if we could ignore the problem away. As the dulling spread, people felt sad and angry. They blamed each other, and there were terrible arguments. Hurt replaced harmony. Neighbors became enemies, but this didn't solve anything. When the last drop of color finally left our planet, the people in charge shrugged their shoulders and said nothing could be done. Still, in my small corner of the world, I kept my eyes open for answers. Because you never knew when out of the blue, the tiniest thing could show up and spark a transformation. Such as a single grain of hope found by those like us, dreamers with a gaze that never quit. At first it seemed like nothing was happening, so I shouted for help. Help! And someone heard my call. Hello, he said, I've brought an idea. And guess what? It worked. If we gather more people, this could change things, we cried. Most walked past without even stopping, too busy to care. Many had grown used to the gray, learned to live with it, they said. That made us want to walk away, but we kept each other going. Bit by joyful bit, others took notice, and everyone who joined gave new energy. There were some funny suggestions along the way, but each offered the glint of a brighter tomorrow. At times, the effort was exhausting. When things got really tough, we had to work as one. Then I woke one morning, and the air felt different. It was filled with the smell of promise. Like the flick of a switch, our dream had blossomed, and in front of us stood a beacon of hope. I guess from a distance, amongst all that gray, it must have appeared a speck of a change. Yet we all knew deep down that together we'd started something incredible. And in our hands was the key to help others do the same. For change, progression, and hope, and the brave ones lighting the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Now it's time for the children to go to the religious experience, and so we'll sing number 9, the UU Children's Song. And now it's time for us to sing again, and we practiced this last week, so we should be good at it this week. Please stand if you're able to sing number 1017, We Are Building a New Way. Thank you. Great spirit. So take a moment to take a deep breath. And we have a wonderful meditation on a video by our speaker, Jan, that we're going to play now. So rest in this time of love and connection.
Self as a thought of the Infinite One, made flesh by your sheer desire to see and be seen. Think of yourself as nature, looking upon nature, in awe at its grandeur, in tears for its wounds, nature loving itself, healing itself, speaking out for itself. Think of yourself as a vessel of stardust and clay, a child of the cosmos, transforming energy into matter, wave into particle, mortal into immortal. Think of yourself as a soul who took on a body to be of use, to radiate love and receive it in return. Think of yourself as necessary, purposeful. Remember that you came here to light the world. Think of yourself as a shaman whose hands heal whatever they touch, as a storyteller whose words fall like rain on a drought-stricken land, whose stories are medicine, miracles that heal the sick and raise the dead. Think of yourself as a circle holding yin and yang, as unity cradling the dualities in your arms. Think of yourself as a thought leaning toward radiance, an early dawn rising into daylight. Deep inside you, the fire of creation burns day and night. Atoms forged from the Big Bang spin and swirl in your blood and bones, your lungs and your legs. Like salt in the tear, joy in the laughter, the Holy One is in you, being scattered like seeds across the land as you speak and write and reach out to touch. You are the hands and feet, the eyes and ears of the great beloved. You are the one we are waiting for. Your stories are the ones we are waiting to hear. It is time now for each of us to speak, to say what happened and what we learned. To reveal ourselves is to heal ourselves, and to heal ourselves is to heal each other and the world entire. From our revelations of intimacy and truthfulness, vulnerability and generosity, the future takes shape and enters into us. Our words made flesh, our thoughts made real. Yes, think of yourself as a creator, the peace you desire, the justice you cry out for. These will come as we speak them into being. As the cosmos is being created by the mind of the Infinite One, this world is being created by the minds of the finite ones, by us. Let us be mindful and full of care for the words we speak, the thoughts we think, the stories we tell, for these are the tools with which we build tomorrow.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jan. All those pictures were taken by her in her world travels. And so now I present to you my beloved friend, Jan, speaking about hope as an active verb.
Thanks, Aileen. Well, this is the quintessential preaching to the choir. Jan Phillips talking to the Unitarians. Every one of you could be here and I could be there and it would be perfect. I'm going to talk about hope, but first I want to say a few words about faith. Because we hear a lot these days, people saying, I'm spiritual but not religious. And if you ask them, what does that mean? It's hard for them to say any more than that. It's hard. They want you to just get it, what that means. But I'm just going to share an experience I had in the convent also many hundreds of years ago. 1967, I entered. And the first theology class we had, there's 30 of us postulants all sitting in the classroom looking exactly the same with our black outfits on. And the priest, this big Lithuanian priest, storms into the classroom and throws his books down. Says in this heavily accented way, all right, now one of you stand up and tell me about your relationship with this God you're about to marry. It was the weirdest thing. And one of the postulants stood up and said, God the Father is the first person of the Holy Trinity and this and that. What we memorized right out of the Baltimore Catechism as Catholics. And he cuts her off. He goes, that's all you got? She said, yes, Father. He said, well, sit down. Who else? So some other foolish postulant raised her hand and does the same thing. You know, God made me to show his goodness and to share with his love with us and everlasting, whatever, right out. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, that's right. And he goes, that's it? Yes, Father. Sit down. Happens 3 times. By now I hate this guy. I have my first anxiety attack, and I have a tear running all down my cheek. I was a mess. And so he said, you should all be ashamed of yourself. You can't speak from your heart about anything. You're just like, you've memorized things. You think that's it. And we did think it's it. Because the Catholic Church teaches you what to think. It doesn't teach you how to think. And so we were completely baffled by how do you say anything about your personal relationship with the divine? And he goes on to say, your religion is a set of doctrines and dogma that you inherited. It's like books. We're going to put them on the shelf, and we're not going to go there at all for the whole semester. That's religion. Now, faith, he said, is something you create. You create it for yourself based on your ultimate commitments. And we're all going, ultimate commitments? What the hell does that mean? He had to work really hard with us It's like it says in the first quote here, spirituality is a matter of subtraction, not addition. We had to subtract all that we had learned and put it over there to be able to imagine ourselves going down deep and exploring what were our spiritual commitments. And for me, the only way I knew to do that was to imagine living in accordance with the words of Jesus. And so for me, when I finally figured it out, I stood up and said, my ultimate commitments are to be a light in the world, a force for good, and a stand for justice. And from that day forward, that has been the faith that has propelled me through 76 years of life. And so if somebody's trying to easily say, what's the distinction between faith or spirituality and religion, you can think of it like this. Religion is the score. It's that sheet of music on the piano. That's religion. Faith is the experience of hearing that Bach piece. So religion is the score. Faith is the music. It's the fulfillment. Religion is the menu, but faith is the meal. So we're here in faith. We're here in accordance to the things in our lives that we can think of as ultimate commitments. So that's what I want to say about faith. And what I want to say about hope, I'm just going to start. I have a few lines that, it's like these lines are the preface to a video I made called Hope Transforms. So this is about hope. Hope is the energy that sustains a new vision while it transforms from the realm of the imagination into the realm of manifest reality. Hope's like the placenta. It holds that energy of the thought while the thought makes its way to the heart, where it hooks up with desire, which propels it into reality. Hope is the child of longing and expectation. It's desire in love with wisdom. Prayer married to thanksgiving. So we're really bringing those dualities together. And when we bring dualities together, what happens is a combustion of newness. Just like when your battery goes down on a wintry day and you're stuck in the cold, and some of you here are not from Southern California, so you know the experience of having to get your battery, those cables out of the trunk, find a car with a running battery, and what do? You put the cables on your positive and negative, and you hope the other guy puts it on his because it's going to spark and you don't want to do it wrong. He puts it on his, and all of a sudden your battery starts because sparks combust. Fire happens when you connect the dualities. We always want to be connecting the dualities. Hope is not a powerless waiting for, but a powerful welcoming of the future we're creating. It's an evolutionary act that involves the total engagement of body, mind, and soul. There was this guy, Moishi. He was driving his car all around the parking lot, hoping for a parking spot. But the lot was filled. So Moishi goes, God, please bring me a parking spot. Open up a space for me. If you do, I promise I'll eat kosher for the whole year. And then this spot opens right up. And Moishi goes, never mind, I found one. Hope manifests things. We used to hope for a pony for Christmas, hope for a bicycle, right? It's not that kind of hope. It's not the Santa Claus kind of hope, but that was good training for us because hope does involve desire and longing. But the words here say it's the fusion of longing and expectation. So we can pray with the sense of thanksgiving, like they do, thanking you in advance. Remember, this is mostly the women. When we took the typing classes to prepare ourselves to be clerk typists, and we had to write the business letter, and it always ended with, thanking you in advance. And that always felt weird to me. But now I totally get it. Because the part of hope that really propels it into a meaningful energy that causes something, that has an effect, is being able to see it all the way through. So you're able to say, thanks in advance for the help with this. Because you see it all the way through. I was cleaning my bedroom the other day, and I found behind my dresser an old vision board. I don't know how many years old it was, but I looked on it, and it had a picture of a truck, picture of a piano, Picture of a really lovely outdoor patio. Picture of a beautiful kitchen. Picture of a beach in Cancun. Picture of mountains. And I looked and I said, every single thing on this vision board I got. I got the truck only to discover I didn't really want it. It was too big. I did drive it across the country and back, but after that, I'm done with it. So sometimes you manifest things that you weren't really clear-headed about. You don't want to do that. And always we're trying to manifest what can never really be measured, like peace in the world. So in order to really cause our hope to become reality, it needs the commitment of our full beings. So it's a little impotent for me to stay in my bed and look at my candle and say, I hope those migrants are warm and safe, because I'm, 15 minutes away from the border. That's an issue on my radar. So in order to cause that hope, give it a chance of survival, I called Jewish Family Service because they're the best place to volunteer that I have found. What can I do for the immigrants? Well, we have a place downtown. We got 100 of them sleeping on cots every day. We feed them 3 meals a day. Come down and work in the kitchen. So I go down there, had to put on a hairnet. What do we have to do? We got to clean off the tables. We got to sweep the floors. We got to make these thin sandwiches with 1 teeny slice of ham, 1 piece of American cheese, white bread meal. Feed them. They come in through the door. You can't talk to them. Come in through the door, feed them all, give them the water. They go back. It's clean the tables, sweep the floors. It wasn't any fun. There was no engagement with people for me. And so I said, I need another job because that's not fun enough and I don't like hairnets. So I said, what else can I do? They said, well, we've got families who need drivers to take them to the airport or the bus station. Oh, yeah? How does that work? Well, you'd let us know what times of day and night you can be available, and then we'll call you. And you come and pick them up, take them to the airport. So I said, okay, I can work from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. And you never know if you're going to get a call. But the call comes, 6 o'clock, all right, come and pick up the family, get them in the car. They got 2 little babies, get the baby seats. Use Google Translate, which you can't do when you're driving. Go to the airport, see them through TSA, walk them down, stop and buy them bananas and water, get them down to the gate, stay there with them, talk in Spanish with my phone. let them know how much I love and support them. Hope they safely get to Texas, wherever they're going. That's what my hope can look like. You need to ask yourself the question, what's breaking your heart? Because it may not be the migrants. It may be the puppy factories. It might be who knows what. Could be you're the ones. You know what's breaking your heart. Then you say, what can I do to help this thing? That's your hope in action. But it's always first starts with the heartbreak. All of us have different issues that we care about, and you know what they are because it's what you're praying for. And then the inquiry is, well, if I'm praying for this, what can I actually do? Because you're Unitarians. You know prayer isn't a vertical thing. We're not going up there trying to wake up somebody to go take care of someone over there. We go over there. It's horizontal. It involves us. And here's the scientific evidence of how hope works, because we're Unitarians. The study is done with chicks in a robot. I'm the daughter of dairy farmers from upstate New York. I'm 8 years old. We're driving down a country road going past the chicken farm at night, and all the lights are on. I'm like, Mommy, how come all the lights are on in the barn where the chickens are? She goes, oh, honey, chickens don't like the dark. They like it to be light, and they lay more eggs when the lights are on. That's why the farmers keep the lights on, to keep the chickens happy and laying more eggs. Oh, okay. So now I'm happy, I know that. So a few years ago, I come across this research done using a robot and chicks. And here's how it works. The experiment starts with they have a room, 12 chicks. The lights are on, and the chicks are all over the place, just like puppies would be, or kitties. They're happy, they're playing, and then they turn the lights off. And now all the chickens, the little baby chickens, are afraid, they're unhappy, and they all go huddle together in the corner. So now you've got 20 little baby chicks huddled together in the corner. So the next move is they have a little robot that's programmed to make random movements. So the robot, nobody can control it. Its programming is to generate random movements. So the robot on its own just goes in, goes to the left, turns around, goes to the right. They give it a candle. They send it into the room, the dark room, with the chicks who are afraid and huddled together. And the robot starts out making random movements. But in time, they discover that that robot spent an inordinate amount of time in the vicinity of the chicks. Do you get it?
No.
All right. The robot's programmed for random movements. Left on its own, it would go everywhere, all the time, random movements. But because the chicks who wanted the light of its candle, their hopes, their intention, their desire overcame the programming for random movements and caused that robot to spend an inordinate amount of time in the vicinity of the chicks.
So the chicks had not moved.
Chicks did not move, but the chicks called for the light. And their desire, their hope was so strong, it overcame the programming in the robot. This is a scientific experiment. You could look it up. Google robots and chicks. So that's what we're saying about hope. It's not a powerless waiting for, but a powerful welcoming of the future we're creating. So the chicks caused that action. We cause that action. We cause results that we're committed to. Committed to. It's more than, I hope I get a pony. I hope I get a Schwinn bicycle. It's more than that. Because real desire, real hope has power to cause a combustion of something new. That's we as creators. And William Tiller, he's a physicist. He's even done a graph of how does this work. That's the male mind. They love, to design the structures to help us better understand things. And so he's got an image of a thought. This is his notion. Thoughts are implanted from the realm beyond us. A thought enters into our brain. Thousands of thoughts come in a day, and you choose which ones you're going to entertain, right? We do it all the time. A million thoughts come in our mind. Most of them you let go, and some of them you grab hold of. And you go, wow, I'm going to work with that. That's a good thing. And in order, it's like, say, an idea for a new poem comes in my mind. An idea for this talk. I'm with Aileen. She goes, "Do you want to do this?" Okay. So I sit in my bed, say my prayers, and the idea for this talk comes into my mind. And now it's like, oh, hope. What will become of this? And so in Tiller's graphic illustration, the thought is totally meaningless until it drifts down into the zone of the heart where we have passion, where we have feelings and longings. So there, the hope gets energized. The idea begins to take shape, and that desire, that longing, that passion, that hope is the jet fuel that causes it to move from the place of possibility into the place of manifest reality. That's his notion, and I think it's true because it feels like that in my body. I have to attach the idea to my desire in order for it. It's like has to be energized with those feelings in order to become a real thing in the world. And you all have manifested things. You've all wanted something really bad, thought about it, really desired it, imagined it. You could, maybe you name it, whatever. I'm going to name this puppy this. And then you go to the shelter, next thing you know, you got a puppy. So that's what's up about hope. It's the total engagement of our minds, our bodies, and our souls. We're connected to Source. It's great mystery. It's lovely to have mysteries because we can't know anything about that realm except that we are it. We are made from the substance of the Big Bang. We come from a sperm and an egg from the soil. We rise up. We have a brain. We decide what we want to create, and then we create it. And if you don't fulfill your job as strong hopers, feeling it into existence, it doesn't happen. But if you're good with your jet fuel, propel it into reality, and there you are living the life of your dreams. Amen.
If you want more, janphillips.com. There's wonderful videos, things to read, and there's at least 12 books that you could gain more wonderful things from our beloved Jan. So it's time for our offering, and your Sunday morning offering is a gift that helps us keep the lights on and have all the staff that make the things work here. We're building a better world together. We're hoping and we're turning hope into action. For those of you on the Zoom, the link can be found in the chat box or at summituuf.org and the website. If you do use the computer, select the Sunday plate option to allocate your donation. So would the ushers come forward as we listen to the offertory music?
I have a slight change for the offertory too. I'm going to play Be Thou My Vision. This little light of mine was in a book that got cleaned up during the holidays and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I will play that another time.
Thank you, Karen. And now's our chance to sing together hymn number 1060 as we sing of hope and joy. This is in the Teal book.
This hymn is a little new. I will play it through once first.
Please be seated. Remember that after the service ends and we have our circle song, we'll take just a small break, and then you can ask questions and discuss some more things with Jan before heading to the salon for snacks. So, Eleanor, would you extinguish the chalice? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And we send you forth as ambassadors of hope in action. And so now, if you are able to circle up for our closing circle song, together hand in hand. So you want to come down and...
Well, I love it when you're the service.